Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christy with Van On Company. It's Thursday, June 16th. I'm going to go over the markets with you for the day. Coming into here, you really saw selling pressure across the board once again into these commodity markets. To start off the day, you had very unfriendly outside markets with the dollar up above 75 cents higher. That's a big move in the US dollar, and that really puts pressure on commodities in general because that makes our commodities more expensive for foreign nations. So what happens there is you just, with that dollar rallying, and then you had crude market down over $1.50 and the Dow market down over 150 points. It really set a negative tone for the markets to start off the bat. Then you got export data that really wasn't all that friendly. Nothing too spectacular. Good sales, but nothing out of the market that you've had over the last couple ones that have been huge sales. So that really started that selling pressure, especially into soybeans coming down to about 29 cents lower on the day. That was dragging corn and wheat down with it as well, trading down about 8 to 9 cents in corn, about 5 to 7 cents lower in wheat, and then gradually throughout the day you were able to come back a little bit into these markets, but not all that much. Corn closed down 3 cents, so definitely a comeback there. And then beans down anywhere from about 23 to 24 cents. Then the wheat market anywhere from 1 to 3 cents lower. Also, with those negative outside markets, you had the fact that your weather forecasts don't have a whole lot of threat in them right now. There's not a whole lot of heat for the next 14 days. There's not a whole lot of areas that aren't going to get the precip. It looks like majority is above average precip or normal precip. There are a couple pockets that look dry, but for the most part, everything's looking spectacular. So you got through that heat, and that precip really followed the heat as well. So you should have had some good growing conditions, and the next 2 weeks also look like that. And you know, in the deep south, in some areas of the Corn Belt, you're going to start talking pollination pretty soon. And if you don't have that heat during pollination and that threat, you should be okay on corn, though you did see the most sell-off pressure onto the bean market. As well into the meat markets, you also had those lower trade there with negative outside markets, but they were able to come back into the close, spent majority of the day down $1 to $2 and then worked their way back higher, still closing slightly negative, but for the most part well off their lows. Then like I said, those outside markets were negative with crude and the Dow slightly or sharply lower, and then the dollar was actually sharply higher, though I will say throughout the day and especially after the grain markets closed, that dollar actually came back to being steady versus being up 75 cents, and the Dow actually went from being down 150 points to actually slightly higher. So you saw that reversal there. It just wasn't in time and enough before to really change that mentality into the grain markets after you started seeing some profit taking and selling. I do have to close with a disclaimer. Trading in futures and options involves risk of loss and may not be suitable for all producers. Have a great day.